Between 2001 and 2016, 11 million acres of agricultural land in the U.S. was converted into non-farm use. That's nearly half the size of South Carolina. Across small towns and rural counties, fields that once grew crops or raised cattle are being turned into neighborhoods or commercial centers. Some of these are even solar farms. Living on converted farmland can be very peaceful. It can be bucolic. There may be wide open skies, clean air to breathe, probably a slower pace of life. But this transformation raises really important questions. Why are so many farmers selling? What are the trade-offs for communities and for buyers? And is there some opportunity for you in the middle of this shift? Age is one of the contributing factors of this mass sale of farmland. The average age of the American farmer is nearly 60 years old. So many of them are ready to retire, but there's no one lined up to take over. Their children are moving to cities or opting for careers outside of agriculture. So for these farmers, oftentimes selling the land is the most logical choice and the most profitable one. I've seen this firsthand with my own family. My mother's parents were farmers and my parents are ranchers, but I've chosen a career outside of agriculture. So there's no one lined up to take over. Money is probably the second largest factor to this mass sale. Small towns are growing. Some of them are getting closer to large cities or closer to mid-sized cities or becoming those urban centers that's offering a ton of opportunity for residents all by themselves. So then what happens is this farmland becomes more profitable as use for residential areas or commercial development. Sometimes developers offer 5 or 10 times more than another farmer can offer. So it's a logical solution to sell to that developer. And sometimes it's the only retirement plan that that farmer's going to have. It's super expensive to stay in the farming game. Even small farms require a lot of money. Equipment, feed, fertilizer, fuel, labor, all of these things have been increasing in cost. And then commodities are shifting in price. So one month can look very different from the next, and the same for the different years. And then these small-time farms have to compete with larger farms or corporations. To me, this really sounds like a lot of pressure, and I'm not sure I could do it. Farming also comes with a lot of federal regulation, and that comes with even more stress. The weather's also unpredictable, the markets can be very volatile, and there's a lot of hard physical labor that comes with actually running a farm. The life for farmers it doesn't always work out. So then once this farmland is sold, it doesn't end up being farmland for very long, right? It's being turned into something else. So the first thing we see, the first evidence of this is the road being formed from the main road into the pasture or field that's being converted. Next is typically utilities. So this is going to be the case whether it's residential or commercial, like a shopping center or even a big box store. And then we're seeing some of this farmland that's a little bit further from urban centers being turned into things like solar farms and wind farms. So converting this property into these renewable energy projects means that the land is taken out of food production completely. And then speculation is also a very common occurrence for some of this land. This means that investors will buy up the property and let it sit there until something big happens, like a company wants to move in and houses need to be built, or the company even wants to buy the land that is just sitting there, or a turnpike or a road goes through, or a town finally catches up to that area and sprawls out. Sometimes these pieces of land sit empty for years. So now on the drive between Oklahoma City and Tulsa, we see this farmland being converted into different things. The same for between Oklahoma City and Dallas. I make these drives a lot. So in these towns, I'm seeing the landscape change dramatically, not just because the farmland is being converted into residential or commercial, but because the economy of these towns is changing as well. So why are folks wanting to move to these wide open spaces that farmers have left behind? So many people want that lifestyle or a vestige of it. They want to wake up to open skies. They want to see the sunset every night, and they want to have a little bit of space between them and their neighbors. It really gives a country feel without being super uncomfortable. And then also, these homes are brand new. They have modern amenities. They have paved roads. And it's really nice. Because if you've ever lived on a farm or a ranch, you know that that means early mornings, late nights. It means lean years. It means really difficult months. It means shoveling snow and breaking ice in the winter for cows. There's a ton of hard work that goes into farming and ranching. That's not what people typically want, but they do want the open country feel, which totally makes sense. Post-pandemic or after 2020, things have really shifted. They've really changed for people, and we see people wanting different things than they were wanting before. Remote work has been squashed in many areas, but it's still on the rise, and you can still get a remote job and live in some of these areas. Folks are not tied to the city for their jobs anymore. So now these small towns with these brand new homes on 1 acre or 5 acres are really appealing to people. I'm seeing people get space for larger homes, for a gardening space, maybe room for their dog to run, or even chickens. Most of these areas are typically relatively affordable depending on where you're coming from. Many people also qualify for special loan programs in these areas or even grants. So that helps a lot. So all of this chalks up to a little bit of a romantic notion, right? That idea, that slower pace of life, it's appealing to many, watching the sunset, like it's a different life than what a lot of people imagined. You'd have some close-ish neighbors who are also friends, who share the same values with you. Like, this is a life that a lot of people see in their heads, and I know that because they call me. This is a great dream. I see a lot of people dreaming this, but there are some trade-offs to this, and I want to make sure that you know that. So I'm Marcie Billen. I'm a real estate agent, and I'm connected to real estate agents all over the country. If you fill out this short form on my website, then I can get you connected to the right person to help you with your move, whether that be to another state or another town. After you fill that out, I'll get notification of it, and I will call you within a couple of days. And yes, I do make those calls myself. So you're going to find this link in the description and also in the comments below. So being a resident here in Oklahoma, here are some of the drawbacks that I have personally seen to this mass sale of farmland. The most obvious is going to be infrastructure. A lot of these small towns were not designed for these big residential areas or these big commercial centers. So the roads just aren't big enough, or they aren't in decent enough shape to hold up to the amount of people that end up driving on them. The tax base isn't large enough for things to move quickly enough to expand these roads or make them better. It takes a long time for that tax base to catch up with what's going on in reality. Roads, water, internet, emergency services, these all can get overwhelmed very quickly in these small town areas. And schools in some of these areas can get overwhelmed quickly with a big influx of residential or commercial development. Also, farmland wasn't made to support these dense housing developments. And yes, dense can even mean a home on 1 acre or 5 acres. This is a lot of concrete we're talking about pouring for these homes. Almost every new home that I sell has a drainage issue. I always encourage my buyers to check out flood zones. These can change, and they do change depending on what's happening with the properties. And then be aware that if dirt was moved around for these homes or these commercial centers to be built, that can cause foundation problems even within the first couple of years of you living in your home or having a business. Food systems can also be lost in these small towns. Farmers markets may struggle a little bit. Our produce, our meats, and our dairy, they can end up traveling a little bit farther to get to us. Local farmers markets, like I said, may suffer, and also that community farming identity may disintegrate. Sometimes there can be some weird tension too between newcomers that are moving into these new homes built in these communities and then the longtime residents. Like here in Oklahoma, everyone's pretty nice, but that doesn't mean that things can't get a little cliquish or just being excluded because you're different or from a different place. It may feel uncomfortable for all parties. Sometimes for new people, it can be hard to adjust to the way things are done in a new town or in a different town. And it can be hard to adjust to the pace of life in some of these places. Things take longer in these small towns. I say this to let you know that there are some really great opportunities when it comes to this mass sale of farmland in these small town areas. But nothing's perfect. There's always going to be a little bit of a negative side. Is there a window of opportunity here for you, though? There might be. The key is knowing how to spot it and knowing what you're going to do with it. If you're a buyer, there's a really great chance to own land that may have been out of reach to you before. Sometimes it can feel a bit expensive, but it's probably cheaper relative to wherever you're coming from, just depending on where you're looking. It's a chance for a quieter lifestyle, relatively. Usually these farm lots are at least an acre. You may get 5 acres or 10 acres or even more, depending on what you want. There are usually very few restrictions on these types of properties, which is really useful for some people, depending on what you want to build. Do your own research. Check zoning. Understand the area that you're looking to buy in. It's really important. Check out what kind of septic system you might need. Check out the water access and utilities. These are all going to be factors that may cost you money, a lot of money. I personally really believe that investing on the edge of metros or close to the edge of a metro can be really profitable and can give you the access to the lifestyle that you may be used to if you're coming from a larger town or city. I see a lot of my own clients wanting this, so that's the kind of homes that I typically sell. Even if you want to start farming, there's potential here. Some farmers don't want their land to be converted to a non-farming use. Like, they don't want anything to be built on it. They don't want it to be taken out of production. So there may be opportunity for you to approach farmers about this and buy some land. There's also opportunity for leasing land in these situations. I've seen a lot of farmers doing this as well. So what's most interesting to you? What area is most interesting to you? I hope that you leave that in the comments so that I can see what you're interested in, and be sure to watch this video next.